The big meeting room was full of strange creatures from all over the galaxy. Ambassador Hyun-woo walked into the room wearing his black suit. His face looked calm, but inside he felt nervous. The room was huge, with seats going up like stairs filled with aliens that looked nothing like humans. Some aliens looked like big crystals that made musical sounds when they moved. Others were tall and scary, like dragons with metal parts on their bodies. There were also creatures that looked like giant bugs with many eyes. The strangest ones were made of pure light that floated in glass. Hyun-woo looked back at his team. Jin-ae was a smart woman who carried a computer pad that showed important information. She was young but very good at her job. General Taemin stood behind them. He was an old soldier with gray hair and scars on his face that told stories of many battles. The leader of all these aliens was called Council Prime Zendara. She was made of bright energy that hurt to look at. Directly when she spoke, her voice came out in every language at the same time through special machines. Council Prime Zendara spoke first. Her voice filled the whole room like thunder. Human people, you are here because your kind has broken our laws. You have built too many warships and weapons in space that belongs to everyone. This must stop now. The crystal aliens made happy sounds like bells ringing. They liked what the Council Prime said. The dragon-like aliens growled deep and low, sounds that meant they were angry and ready to fight. The bug aliens clicked their mouths together, making sounds like rain on a roof. Hyun-woo stepped forward so everyone could see him clearly. Council Prime, we humans have only built things in our own space. We need these ships to protect our people from dangers in space. One of the bug aliens spoke through their queen voice. It sounded like many people talking at the same time. You call it protection, but your ships can destroy whole planets. Your people have more warships than the law allows. This is very bad. Jin-ae looked at her computer and nodded to Hyun-woo. The information she had been waiting for was finally ready. The human leaders back on Earth had made their decision. A young woman named So Young stepped up next to Hyun-woo. She was the youngest person in their group, but she was not afraid. The old laws were made when humans lived on just one planet. Now we live on many worlds with billions of people. The galaxy has changed, and we must change too. Council Prime Zendara's bright energy got bigger and brighter. Everyone could tell she was very angry. Laws are laws. They do not change just because you want them to. No species can have more than a small number of warships compared to how many people they have. Humans have too many ships. This ends right now. The whole room became very quiet. All the aliens stopped making their various sounds. Everyone waited to hear what the humans would say next. This was the most important moment in the meeting. Hyun-woo looked at Jin-ae, and she showed him her computer screen. General Taemin gave a tiny nod that only Hyun-woo could see. This was the signal they had been waiting for. The human government had sent the final message. Council Prime and all members of this great council, Hyun-woo said in a voice that carried to every corner of the huge room. We humans say no to your demands. We will not get rid of our ships. Also, starting right now, humans are leaving this council. We do not want to be part of it anymore. The reaction was immediate and loud. The crystal aliens started making sounds so high and sharp that some of the viewing screens broke into pieces. The dragon aliens roared so loudly that the floor shook under everyone's feet. The smaller aliens made scared chittering sounds like frightened birds. Council Prime Zendara's energy form grew so big it filled half the room with blinding light. You cannot just leave, she shouted. If you break our laws, there will be punishments. We can stop you from trading with other species. We can take away your territory. If we have to, we can send armies to make you obey. No species has ever left this council by choice. So Young walked up next to her boss. Her young age made her words sound even more serious and scary. Then humans will be the first to leave. We are tired of being treated like children who need permission to keep ourselves safe. The galaxy is big and full of dangers. We will not stay weak and helpless. General Taemin finally spoke. His voice sounded like someone who had fought in real wars and seen terrible things. This council has failed to protect its members from space pirates and hostile aliens from far away. Humans will not depend on others anymore. We will take care of ourselves. The human team started to pack up their things and get ready to leave. Hyun-woo gave one last speech to the council. To the species who have been our friends, you are welcome to visit human space anytime. To those who want to hurt us or attack us, consider this your only warning. Humans are leaving this Council today, but we are not leaving without ways to defend ourselves. The three humans walked toward the exit door with slow, steady steps. They ignored all the chaos and shouting happening behind them. Some aliens were demanding immediate action while others sat in shocked silence. The Galactic Council had never seen anything like this in all its 3,000 years. As the doors closed behind them, Jin-A turned on her secret communicator. Phoenix Protocol is now active. All human ships must leave Council space immediately. Operation Exodus starts now. The decision was made. Humanity had chosen to be free instead of safe, to be independent instead of protected. What would happen next would decide if this brave choice would bring success or disaster to all humans everywhere. The meeting room behind them was still full of angry shouting and confused aliens. The council members could not believe that anyone would dare to leave their organization. For 3,000 years, every species had obeyed their rules. Now, for the first time, a species was walking away. Some of the friendlier aliens felt sad to see the humans go. They had enjoyed working with these strange creatures who always had new ideas. But the more powerful aliens were furious. They saw this as a direct challenge to their authority. Council Prime Zendara called for order. But no one was listening. Everyone was talking at once, trying to figure out what to do next. Some wanted to send armies immediately. Others thought they should try to negotiate. The council that had always been united was now divided. Outside the council building, Hyun-Woo looked up at the stars, knowing that somewhere out there human ships were already beginning their journey home. The die was cast and there was no turning back now. 3 days passed since the humans walked out of the council meeting. Now the whole galaxy was buzzing with news of what happened. Admiral Min-ho stood in the human command center that floated in space around Earth. His old face showed worry as he watched reports coming in from human colonies everywhere. The command center was like a giant metal city in space with thousands of people working inside. Bright screens showed maps of space and the locations of all human ships. Captain Onji sat at her station watching messages come in from faraway places. Her fingers moved fast across the glowing buttons and screens. Admiral, we have reports of Council war fleets moving in 17 different areas of space, Captain Onji said while looking at her screen. They are getting ready for something big, Commander. Woojin walked over to the main display screen. He was in charge of finding out what enemies were doing. His job was to watch and listen to what other species were planning. Sir, it looks like the Council voted to punish us with money problems and military attacks. They are very angry about us leaving. The big screen showed red dots that meant enemy ships moving through space. A huge fleet of alien warships was heading toward human colonies. The fleet was led by the scary dragon-like Drakmori aliens and helped by the smart Keltheran who had the best technology. Over 200 enemy ships of all sizes were coming toward human space. Admiral Min-ho pressed a button to talk to all human military bases, all station commanders. This is Admiral Min-ho. Phoenix Protocol is still happening. Begin moving all people who are not soldiers away from border colonies. Military people stay in defensive positions but do not fight unless they attack you first. The evacuation had been planned for months. Human leaders hoped they would never need to use this plan. Transport ships moved between human colonies, picking up families and important people while warships got ready to defend. Military ships took positions around planets while civilian ships loaded with scared families headed to safer places. Dr. Hey, one stood next to Admiral Min-ho watching the tactical display. She used to work with aliens before humans left the council. Her job was to understand how alien minds worked and predict what they would do. The Drakmori are leading the attack. Their way of fighting is to use overwhelming numbers to make enemies give up quickly. They think we will surrender. When we see how many ships they have, what about the others? Admiral Min-ho asked while looking at the different types of alien ships on the screen. The Keltheran are more careful. They will want to study our defenses before they start fighting. The Veltari crystal aliens are probably here because they have to be. Their crystal bodies make them prefer talking over fighting. The real unknown is the hive mind group. Their queen voice makes decisions based on thinking from billions of minds that we cannot predict. Captain Yunji interrupted their talk. Admiral, incoming message from the council fleet. They are demanding that all human military people leave the contested systems. Immediately, Admiral Min-ho straightened his uniform and walked to the communication station, put them through. The holographic display flickered and showed the scary form of Drakmori. Fleet Commander Grakthal, his reptile-like face had metal implants that glowed with threatening energy behind him. Other alien species waited to deliver their demands, Human Admiral. Grakthal said in a voice that sounded like rocks grinding together. You have 24 standard hours to remove all military assets from the border system's failure to comply will result in the enforcement of Council Resolution 7743. Your species' rebellion ends now, Admiral Minho answered in a calm, steady voice. Fleet Commander Humanity has left the Council voluntarily. We have no obligation to follow Council resolutions. Our forces will defend human territory and human citizens, the Keltheran. Representative was a being made of flowing energy and geometric patterns. It spoke next. Admiral, your species lacks the technology and numbers to resist our combined fleet. We offer you one final opportunity to reconsider your position. Dr. Haywan stepped forward. Her training and talking to aliens showed in her calm behavior. Representatives of the Council Fleet Humanity appreciates your concern for galactic stability. However, we have made our choice. We ask only that you respect our decision and allow peaceful coexistence. Commander Grakthal gave the expected response based on Drakmori culture. There is no coexistence with those who defy council law. You have your warning. Use your time wisely. When the transmission ended, the command center became quiet. The countdown had started, and in 24 hours humanity would face its biggest military challenge since they first traveled to space. The question was whether their preparations would be enough to survive what was coming. Admiral Minho turned to his staff. Signal all commands, begin Phase 2 of Phoenix Protocol. It is time to show the galaxy what happens when you corner a human across human space. The evacuation moved faster than anyone thought possible. Huge transport ships arrived at colony worlds loading millions of people and their belongings. Families said goodbye to homes they had lived in for generations. Children cried as they left behind pets and toys that could not fit on the ship. Song. The colony world of New Soul Captain Young Su watched the last civilian transport lift off into the dark sky. His defense platforms were hidden underground, ready to surprise any attackers. All civilians are away, he reported to Admiral Minho. We are ready for whatever comes next. The human military had learned important lessons from studying alien tactics for many years. They knew they could not win a traditional battle against superior numbers. Instead, they had prepared something completely different, something the Council had never seen before. Lieutenant Colonel Jae-sung commanded the defense grid around the Kepler colony system. His weapons were not normal laser cannons or missile launchers. They were something much more advanced. Admiral, the special equipment is charged and ready. We have been waiting for this moment for 3 years. Dr. Haywan monitored alien communications, listening to the enemy commanders talk to each other. They are confident, Admiral. The Drakmori are already planning victory celebrations. The Keltheran are discussing how to divide up human territory after we surrender. Admiral Minho smiled for the first time in days. Let them be confident. Dr. Confidence can be a weakness when facing the unexpected. The Council fleet continued its approach, moving in perfect formation like a deadly parade. Their ships represented the combined military might of dozens of civilizations. No single species had ever successfully resisted such a force. The aliens believed victory was certain. What they did not know was that humans had spent the last 15 years preparing for exactly this moment. While the Council thought humans were building normal warships and weapons, they had actually been working on something far more revolutionary. The next few hours would change everything. The galaxy was about to learn that humans did not think like other species when cornered. Most aliens either fought or surrendered. Humans had chosen a third option that would shock everyone as the enemy fleet crossed into human space. Admiral Minho gave the order that would make history. All stations prepare for Protocol Omega. Show them what human ingenuity really means. The 24 hours passed and the first Council ships crossed into human territory. Admiral Minho stood in the command center watching the enemy fleet approach the outer defense area of the Kepler colony system. The evacuation was finished, and only soldiers and important equipment remained behind. Enemy contact in 30 minutes, Captain Unji reported. Her voice stayed steady even though they were about to face the biggest battle in human history. The Council fleet had grown to over 300 ships, with more alien reinforcements arriving from multiple species eager to show their loyalty to Galactic. Law Lieutenant Colonel Jae-sung commanded the defense platforms from the planet's surface. Admiral, all civilian evacuation. Complete defense grid is online and ready. We have got a surprise waiting for them, Doctor. Hey, one watched alien communications listening to enemy radio chatter. Sir, they are confident. The Drakmori are bragging about a quick victory. The Caltheran are studying our defensive positions and do not see any real threats. Admiral Minho activated the fleet-wide channel. All units maintain defensive positions. Remember, we are not here to win a traditional battle. We are here to send a message. The Council fleet approached in perfect formation. Their different ship designs created an impressive display of galactic unity. Drakmori dreadnoughts led the charge with their massive hulls covered in weapons. Caltheran cruisers moved with precise coordination, while smaller species provided support vessels and specialized equipment. Fleet Commander Grakthul opened communications. One final time, human forces, you are outnumbered 10-1. Surrender now and face only imprisonment. Continue resistance and face complete destruction. Admiral Minho broadcast his response on all frequencies, making sure every ship in both fleets heard his words. Fleet Commander, you have entered human space without permission and threatened human lives. This is your final warning to withdraw. The alien laughter that came through the communication channel was expected. No single species had ever successfully resisted a Council enforcement action. The combined military might of dozens of civilizations had never been defeated. Then humanity revealed why they had been so confident all along. Initiate Protocol Omega. Admiral Minho commanded quietly across the solar system. Space itself seemed to ripple and bend. Hidden installations that had been disguised as asteroids, mining stations, and communication relays suddenly revealed their true nature. The humans had not been building a traditional defensive fleet. They had been turning spacetime itself into a weapon. Dimensional anchors deployed. FTL suppression field active. Gravity wells established. The Council fleet is now trapped in normal space, Captain Onji reported with satisfaction in her voice. Dr. Hey, one watched the alien communications explode with panic and confusion. They are trying to jump to hyperspace, but the suppression field is preventing any faster-than-light travel. They are trapped in the system like fish in a net. What the Council had interpreted as human military buildup had actually been the construction of the most advanced space-time manipulation technology the galaxy had ever seen. While other species focused on bigger ships and more powerful weapons, humanity had been studying the fundamental forces of the universe itself. Lieutenant Colonel Jae-sung's voice came through with barely controlled excitement. Sir, the gravity wells are working perfectly. We have got 3 Drakmori dreadnoughts caught in artificial gravity fields. They cannot maneuver effectively. Their engines are straining against forces they cannot understand. The revelation that humanity had developed technology beyond anything the Council possessed sent shockwaves through the alien fleet. The Caltheran masters of energy manipulation found their power systems disrupted by dimensional interference. The Veltari crystalline ships began fracturing under the stress of artificial gravity fluctuations. Admiral Minho opened communications to the now trapped Council fleet. Fleet Commander Grakthul, your ships are now held in place by forces beyond your current understanding. We could have destroyed your fleet the moment you entered our space. Instead, we are offering you a demonstration of why humanity chose to leave the Council. The tactical display showed the complete helplessness of the Council forces. Ships designed for speed and maneuverability were locked in place by invisible forces. Weapon systems that depended on energy manipulation were disrupted by dimensional distortions. The most powerful military force in the galaxy had been neutralized without firing a single shot. Commander Wu Jin monitored the enemy fleet status. Sir, they are experiencing cascading system failures. The dimensional interference is affecting their electronics and navigation systems. Several ships are requesting emergency assistance from ships that cannot move to help them. Dr. Hey, one translation equipment was barely keeping up with the flood of alien communications. Admiral, they are in complete panic. Multiple species are demanding to know how we developed this technology. The hive mind is analyzing everything, trying to understand what they are facing, but their billion minds cannot comprehend what we have done. Admiral Minho, next transmission would be remembered throughout galactic history. Council Fleet humanity developed this technology. Through cooperation, innovation, and the refusal to accept limitations imposed by others, while you were content to maintain the status quo, we were pushing the boundaries of what was possible. This is why we left your council. We will not be restricted by those who lack our vision. The demonstration continued for several hours, with human forces maintaining complete control over the trapped Council fleet. No shots were fired, no lives were lost, but the message was crystal clear: humanity had evolved beyond the need for Council protection or Council restrictions. Some alien ships tried to break free using emergency thrusters, but the gravity wells held them firmly in place. Others attempted to overload their weapon systems, hoping to break through the dimensional barriers, but their energy simply dispersed harmlessly into folded space. Captain Unji monitored the alien fleet attempts to escape. Admiral, some ships are trying to ram each other, hoping the collision will break them free from the gravity wells. It is not working. The fields are too strong. Dr. Haywan noticed something interesting in the alien communications. Sir, some of the smaller species are starting to question why the Council never developed similar technology. They are asking why they were told such things were impossible. Admiral Minho realized this was the perfect moment to drive home humanity. Message: open a channel to all ships, Council and human. When the channel opened, Admiral Minho spoke words that would echo across the galaxy. This technology was not developed in secret. It was developed through open scientific inquiry and the willingness to question established limits. Any species could have achieved this breakthrough if they had been allowed to pursue advanced research without Council restrictions. As the gravity wells finally released the alien ship's fleet commander, Grachthol's voice carried a note of defeated recognition mixed with fear. This is not over, humans. The Council will not forget this day or forgive this humiliation. Admiral Minho's response was calm and confident. Neither will we, Fleet Commander, neither will we, and neither will the species who witnessed what happened here today. News of humanity technological demonstrations spread across the galaxy faster than the Council could contain it. In the Human Command Center, Admiral Minho reviewed reports from spy networks throughout known space, the revelation that humans possessed technology capable of stopping entire fleets had completely changed the balance of power in the galaxy. Sir, we are receiving communication requests from 17 different species. Captain Yunji reported her console displayed a constantly updating list of incoming messages. Most are requesting formal diplomatic contact outside of Council channels. Dr. Haywan analyzed the psychological profiles of various alien species as they processed what humanity capabilities meant. The smaller species are terrified, but not of us. They are afraid of what the Council might do to maintain control. The Zephyrians and Aquatic Collective are openly questioning Council authority for the first time in centuries. Commander Wu Jin approached the central display where real-time intelligence painted a picture of galactic upheaval. Admiral, our monitoring stations report that the Council has called an emergency session. They are debating whether to classify humanity as a Class 5 threat. The classification would mark humanity as a potential danger to galactic civilization itself, authorizing the use of any means necessary to eliminate the threat. Only 3 species in recorded history had received such a designation, and all 3 had been extinct. Within a decade, Admiral Minho activated secure communications with Earth Command. Director Sujin, we need to accelerate the evacuation timeline. The Council next move will likely be total war. Director Sujin image appeared on the holographic display. Her expression showed the strain of coordinating humanity, largest logistical operation in history. Admiral, we are moving as fast as possible. Transport fleets are evacuating outer colonies and establishing defensive positions in the core systems. Current estimates suggest we can complete withdrawal within 6 weeks. We may not have 6 weeks, Admiral Minho replied grimly. Intelligence suggests the Council is mobilizing forces from across the galaxy. They are calling it a crusade to protect galactic civilization. The irony was not lost on anyone present. The Council that had failed to protect member species from external threats was now preparing to destroy humanity for developing the means to protect themselves, Captain. Unji interrupted their discussion. Sir, priority transmission from the Kepler system. Captain Young-Soo reports contact with an unknown fleet approaching from outside the galaxy. The tactical display shifted to show long-range sensor data from Humanity outermost detection arrays. A fleet of massive ships unlike anything in known databases was approaching from the galactic rim. Their design suggested advanced technology and peaceful intentions, but their timing seemed too convenient to be coincidental. Open a channel, Admiral Minho ordered. The transmission that came through carried translation protocols more advanced than anything the Council possessed. The voice that spoke was melodious, almost musical in its clarity and beauty. Greetings. Children of Terra, we are the Ethereal's observers from beyond your galaxy. We have watched your species' development with great interest for many years. Dr. Hay-1 equipment confirmed that the transmission was coming from the approaching fleet, but the technological sophistication required for real-time translation across galactic distances was staggering. Your recent demonstration of space-time manipulation technology has impressed us greatly. We have come to offer an alternative to the path your species currently faces, Admiral Minho responded carefully. Ethereal representatives, humanity appreciates your interest in our situation. What alternative do you propose? The response carried undertones that suggested vast knowledge and experience spanning eons. Your species has developed independently what we achieved through different means millennia ago. You have outgrown your current galactic environment. We offer you the opportunity to join us in exploring regions beyond this galaxy where your potential can develop without artificial restrictions. The implications were staggering. The Ethereals were offering humanity a chance to leave not just the Council, but the entire galaxy itself. It would mean abandoning everything they had built, but it would also mean complete freedom from Council interference forever. Commander Wu Jin pulled up star charts showing the galactic rim and the vast emptiness beyond. Sir, if their technology is genuine, they could provide us with means to establish colonies in other galaxies. We would be completely beyond Council reach. Dr. Hay-1 was analyzing the linguistic patterns in the ethereal transmission. Their language structure suggests a post-scarcity civilization with advanced philosophical development. They appear to be offering genuine partnership rather than dominance or control. Director Sujin's voice carried the weight of speaking for all humanity. Admiral, this decision affects our entire species. We need to consider whether we are ready to leave our home galaxy permanently. The ethereal transmission continued. We understand the magnitude of this decision. We offer you time to consider our proposal. However, we must warn you that the Council response to your independence will be more severe than you anticipate. They view your technological advancement as an existential threat to their authority, as if summoned by the ethereal warning. Captain Unji console erupted with alerts. Sir, massive fleet movements detected throughout Council space. They are mobilizing everything. Preliminary estimates suggest over 5,000 ships converging on human territory. The galaxy's most powerful civilizations were preparing for what they saw as a holy war against humanity. The question was whether humanity would stay and fight or accept the Ethereals offered to leave everything behind for a chance at unlimited growth among the stars. Admiral Minho looked at his staff, seeing the same realization in their eyes. Humanity stood at a crossroads that would determine not just their survival, but their destiny as a species. Signal all commands, he ordered. Prepare for full evacuation protocols and get me a secure channel to Earth Command. It is time to make the hardest decision in human history. The ethereal fleet had taken position at the edge of the solar system. Their ships were impossibly large, each one capable of housing entire populations. Their hulls seemed to bend light itself, making them difficult to look at directly. Admiral, Dr. Hay-1 said quietly, I have been analyzing their technology signatures. These beings have mastered forces we are only beginning to understand. They represent millions of years of technological advancement. Captain Uchiha updated her displays. Sir, the Council fleet will arrive in 48 hours. The Ethereals are requesting an immediate decision. The weight of choosing humanity future fell on Admiral Minho's shoulders. Stay and fight against impossible odds. With advanced technology that might not be enough, or trust these mysterious beings and abandon everything humanity had ever known, contact all colony administrators and ship captains. Admiral Minho decided, we vote as a species democracy will decide our fate. The most important election in human history was about to begin, with the future of humanity hanging in the balance. The Galactic Council chamber had never seen such chaos. Representatives from 93 species filled the vast space, their various forms of communication, creating a cacophony of clicks, whistles, roars, and electronic pulses. Council Prime Zendara energy field flickered with barely contained fury as reports continued to arrive from across the galaxy. Order, order, her voice boomed through the translation matrices, but the panic was too great for normal protocols. The emergence of the ethereals and their offer to humanity had shattered the Council understanding of galactic politics-drockery. Commander Grakthol, still smarting from his defeat at human hands, addressed the Assembly. Council Prime, we must act immediately. Intelligence reports suggest the humans are preparing for complete evacuation of the galaxy. If they escape with their technology and alien allies, they will return as conquerors. The Keltharan representative, a being of pure geometric energy, projected data throughout the chamber. Analysis of human spacetime manipulation technology indicates capabilities beyond our current understanding. Combined with ethereal support, they represent an unprecedented threat to galactic stability. What the Council failed to grasp was that their own actions had created the very scenario they feared most by treating humanity as a threat rather than potential allies. They had driven humans to seek alternatives beyond the galaxy itself. In human space, the evacuation had accelerated beyond all projections. Admiral Minho watched from the command center as the last civilian transports departed from the inner colonies. The sight of entire worlds being abandoned was heartbreaking, but the alternative was extinction. Admiral Captain Unji reported, ethereal vessels have arrived in the Sol system. Their motherships are enormous. Each one could house millions of people comfortably. The ethereal fleet dwarfed anything in human or Council databases. Ships the size of small moons moved with impossible grace, their hulls seeming to bend light itself. They represented technology so advanced that it appeared almost magical. Dr. studied the readings from the ethereal vessels, so their energy signatures suggest they are manipulating fundamental forces we do not even have names for. They are not just offering us transport, they are offering us a chance to learn from a post-galactic civilization. The ethereals had been patient with humanity decision-making process, but their latest communication carried urgency. Children of Terra, the Council has begun mobilizing forces that will arrive within 48 hours. If you choose to join us, the transition must begin immediately. The vote had been swift and decisive. Faced with extinction or exploration, humanity chose the unknown by an overwhelming margin. 97% of all humans had voted to accept the ethereal offer. Admiral Minho activated the fleet-wide communication system. All commands, this is Admiral Minho. Humanity has made its choice. Begin immediate boarding of ethereal vessels. Priority evacuation for research personnel and technological infrastructure. The decision had been made not by governments or committees, but by individual humans choosing their own destiny. Faced with the choice between subjugation and exploration, humanity chose the stars. Back in the Council chamber, the horror of what was happening became clear as reconnaissance reports arrived. The Veltari crystalline observer, who had monitored the Sol system, delivered news that sent shockwaves through the Assembly. Council Prime, the humans are not preparing for war. They are leaving. Entire populations are boarding alien vessels. They are abandoning their homeworld. The implications hit the Council like a physical blow. Humanity was not just leaving the Council, they were leaving the galaxy entirely. All of their technology, knowledge, and potential would be lost to the galactic community forever. Council Prime Zendara energy field expanded with disbelief. This is impossible. No species abandons their homeworld willingly. There must be coercion involved. But the evidence was overwhelming. Humans were methodically evacuating everything of value, from people to technological databases to irreplaceable cultural artifacts. They were treating their departure as permanent with no intention of returning. The Hive Mind Collective spoke through their Queen voiced the harmony of their communication, carrying collective analysis. From billions of minds, the humans calculate their chances of survival in this galaxy as minimal. They have chosen extinction over submission, exile over slavery. Commander Grak-Thol reptilian features showed confusion for the first time. Drakmori. Military doctrine had no response for an enemy that simply refused to fight. This makes no strategic sense. They should stand and defend their territory like warriors. The Caltheran representative provided the analysis that would haunt the council. Forever, they are not thinking like individual species protecting territory. They are thinking like a unified civilization protecting their future. We have forced them to evolve beyond our understanding. In the Sol system, the evacuation continued. With mechanical precision, ethereal ships opened vast hangar bays that could swallow entire human fleets. Human families walked up glowing ramps, carrying their possessions into ships that defied comprehension. Children pointed at the strange alien architecture while adults marveled at technology that seemed to respond to thoughts. The ethereals themselves rarely appeared, but when they did, they were beings of impossible beauty made of light and energy. Captain Young-Soo reported from the surface of Earth. Admiral, the last government archives have been loaded. Historical records, scientific databases, and cultural treasures are all aboard ethereal vessels. We are ready for final departure. Dr. Haewon monitored the council fleet approaching. At maximum speed, Admiral, they will arrive in 6 hours. They are bringing planet-killer weapons. The council has aroused complete destruction of human space. Admiral Minho felt the weight of the moment. Signal the ethereals we are ready to depart. The response came immediately. Acknowledged children of Terra. Prepare for transition to extragalactic space. What happened next would be remembered by every species in the galaxy. Space around the ethereal fleet began to fold and twist. Reality itself seemed to bend as massive jump gates opened not to other parts of the galaxy, but to regions beyond the galactic rim. One by one, the ethereal motherships carrying millions of humans began to disappear into the shimmering portals. Earth itself was wrapped in a protective field and gently lifted from its orbit as the last human vessels departed through ethereal jump gates to destinations unknown. The council faced the horrifying realization of what they had lost. Humanity had possessed technology that could have revolutionized galactic civilization, cured diseases, ended conflicts, and opened new frontiers of exploration. Instead, the council's rigid adherence to control and limitation had driven away the most innovative species they had ever encountered. The humans were gone, taking with them possibilities that would never be realized. The council fleet arrived to find empty space where human civilization had once thrived. Abandoned space stations drifted silently while automated systems broadcast humanity's final message to the galaxy. To those who would have been our friends, we are sorry we could not stay. To those who saw us as threats, we hope you find peace in our absence. Humanity goes forward to write the next chapter of our story among the stars. The council chamber fell silent as the full weight of their failure settled upon them. They had sought to control humanity and instead had lost them forever. The galaxy would continue, but it would be a smaller, less vibrant place without the species that had dared to dream beyond the boundaries of conventional wisdom. Council Prime Zendara spoke the words that would define this moment in galactic history. We have made a terrible mistake, Commander Grak-Thol. For the first time in his life, felt something like regret. They offered us partnership, and we demanded submission. They showed us wonders, and we responded with threats. The Caltheran representative processed the data with cold logic. Economic projections indicate galactic technological advancement will slow by 60% without human innovation. Cultural development indices suggest stagnation for the next millennium, but mistakes once made cannot be undone. Humanity was gone, and with them went the potential for a galactic future that could have been magnificent. Beyond imagination, the empty Sol system became a monument to what happens when fear triumphs over hope, when control is valued over freedom. The council had won their battle against human independence, but in doing so they had lost everything that made victory worthwhile. In distant galaxies beyond the reach of council authority, humanity began their new chapter among beings who valued growth over stagnation, exploration over restriction. The stars awaited, and humans were ready to claim their destiny among the infinite cosmos.